it's Katrina! From the earliest known depictions of the human face to ancient carvings made by lost civilizations, here are 8 of the largest rock carvings in the world. Number 8. Dabu Giraffe. Among the largest known animal carvings in the world are 2 life-sized Neolithic giraffe petroglyphs called the Dabu giraffe, located in a remote region of northeastern Niger, where the Tenere Desert and Aïr Mountains meet. French archaeologist Christian Dupuy first recorded the engravings in 1987. The images, which were carved onto the weathered surface of a sandstone outcrop, are thought to represent a large male giraffe in front of a smaller female. From head to toe, the male giraffe measures 5.4 meters. A number of production techniques were used to create the carvings, including scraping, smoothing, and deep engraving of the outlines. The artwork is believed to date back between 6,000 and 8,000 years ago to the Neolithic subpluvial, also known as the African Humid Period or the Holocene Wet Phase. At the time, the African Sahara was a vast savanna extending for thousands of miles and was capable of sustaining large mammal life. For the time period, its scale and craftsmanship is very impressive. Unfortunately, even though it is located in such a remote area, the petroglyphs were getting trampled on and people started stealing pieces of it. In 1999, a mold of the carvings was made in order to preserve them. The following year, the World Monuments Watch declared the giraffe carvings at Dabu among the 100 most endangered sites. Number 7. The Devil Heads. The devil heads, known locally as Čertovi hlavy, are sometimes called the Czech Mount Rushmore. They're a set of twin-figured reliefs carved into the side of a cliff in the northern Czech Republic, where the forest meets the village of Selici. Sorry guys, I have no idea how to pronounce Czech words. In addition to having nightmarish expressions and hollowed-out eyes, the faces stand at an imposing 9 meters high. They were created between 1841 and 1846 by Czech sculptor Václav Levý. He carved the faces early in his career while working a day job as a cook. Another one of his early works, called Klaselka, is located nearby and depicts fairy tale scenes and animal reliefs inspired by Czech poet and philosopher František Klasel's fables. The faces have become less distinct due to the effects of both time and weather. Nevertheless, the site has remained a local attraction for generations. Number 6. Atures Islands Rock Art. Some of the world's largest rock engravings have been found in western Venezuela among a group of 5 islands located along the Atures Rapids of the Amazonian Orinoco River. Archaeologists believe that the region was a natural hub for human activity, such as trade among indigenous groups, as far back as 2,000 years ago. The Orinoco River is over 1,500 miles long, and it has long been used as a network for travel for many people from distant regions before the area was colonized by Europeans. For the first time, archaeologists were able to map the ancient rock art by using a drone with an attached camera. Even though archaeologists have studied them for years, it was the first time they could see the images with such detail. Philip Ryris, an archaeologist at the University College of London, states that this discovery of the rock art represents a major step towards understanding the role of the Orinoco River to the people and social networks throughout northern South America. In all, Ryris found 8 groups of petroglyphs on 5 islands. Some of them seem to illustrate myths from various cultures, including the slaying of a monstrous serpent and different rites of passage. Among the most impressive carvings is a horned snake measuring 98 feet long from end to end. Another panel of artwork contains over 93 engravings, but the size of them were so big that it was very hard for researchers to sketch them out due to their sheer size. With the drone, they could see that some of the carvings were several meters in size, covering an area of over 304 square meters altogether. Most of the figures are of humans and animals, showing their day-to-day lives. 2 opposing spirals, known to archaeologists as a sea scroll, are another frequently depicted image. This design is widespread, having been seen in the Caribbean and as far south as the central Amazon. It's hard to speculate on what the sea scroll means, however, since different regions may have attached different meanings to it. Additional rock art is exposed right before the region's wet season, when the Orinoco River becomes shallower. Seasonal changes like this may have had ritualistic significance for the people who created the engravings. Archaeologists hope to use the artwork to piece together a picture of life in the region before European conquest. When it comes to this task, Ryris admits that they have their work cut out for them. Number 5. Rock Art of Murujuga. The Dampier Archipelago and Burrup Peninsula of Western Australia's Pilbara region, known collectively by the Aboriginal name Murujuga, are home to the world's largest rock art collection. There are over 1 million individual works of art dating as far back as 40,000 years ago, covering the 91,076-acre site. Here, the world's oldest known images of the human face, dating back some 30,000 years, can be found. The engravings also depict the spiritual beliefs and lives of early Australians, as well as their transition from a hunter-gatherer lifestyle to one more focused on fishing. Various animals are featured in the artwork, including birds, reptiles, mammals, marine creatures, and some extinct species, such as the fat-tailed kangaroo and the Tasmanian devil. Between the 1960s and now, the Australian government has approved the development of several industrial facilities among the rock art. The Burrup Rock Art Managing Committee was established in 2002 to study the impact of industrial emissions on the artwork. However, the committee was later disbanded, and while the damage to the rock art is evident, its true extent remains unknown. Despite having some of the most diverse rock art in the world, Australia has only one cultural World Heritage Site dedicated to such artwork. Recognizing the importance of preserving the art at Murujuga, the non-profit organization Friends of Australian Rock Art created the Murujuga Rock Art Conservation Project, a donation-funded effort to protect the art from permanent industrial damage. Number 4. Leshan Giant Buddha. To the east of Leshan City in China's Sichuan province, at the confluence of 3 rivers, you'll find a 233-foot-tall stone sculpture of a sitting Buddha. It is the largest stone-carved Buddha in the world. To give you an idea of how massive it is, around 100 people can fit on the statue's 30-foot-wide instep, and the 79-foot-wide shoulder could be used as a basketball court. The sculpture was started during the Tang Dynasty in the year 713 AD and was finished over 90 years later in 803 AD. A monk named Hai Tong initiated the project out of concern for people who worked near the confluence of the 3 rivers, where boat disasters were numerous and often blamed on the presence of a water spirit, although rough waters were more likely the culprit. This giant statue would help calm the waters. Throughout its creation, the project required the help of thousands of workers. When Hai Tong passed away, the sculpture was halfway done, and it wasn't fully completed until 90 years later. In 1963, the Chinese government began making long overdue repairs to the statue after it was nearly destroyed by wind and rain erosion. The location was inscribed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1996. Number 3. Rock Art of Alta. Northern Europe's largest concentration of rock art made by hunter-gatherers is located in the Alta Fjord of modern-day Norway, near the Arctic Circle. Across several sites near the town of Alta, there are thousands of prehistoric paintings and engravings dating from 7,000 to 2,000 years ago. The largest of the sites, Hemmeluft, features well-preserved sandstone carvings of both marine and land animals and hunting scenes. Included among the animals depicted in the carvings are reindeer, moose, foxes, bears, swans, whales, salmon, and humans, just to name a few. Additionally, the images show boats, geometric designs, and activities such as fishing and trapping. The Alta Museum, the only area that has been open to the public, is located at Hemmeluft. On December 3, 1985, the artwork at Alta became a UNESCO World Heritage Site and Norway's only official prehistoric monument. At the time, there were an estimated 3,000 figures. That number has since doubled to at least 6,000. Number 2. Decebalus Rex. This 180-foot-high monument, dedicated to Decebalus, the king of the Dacians, overlooks the Danube River in Romania. With a 23-foot-long nose and 14-foot eyes, it's much bigger than the 60-foot presidential faces of Mount Rushmore. In 1985, the site for the massive carving was chosen by the Dragon European Foundation, an organization that promotes European culture. This site is believed to be the former location of Trajan's Bridge, where the Roman Emperor Trajan defeated Decebalus in 105 AD. Because the modern-day Romanian identity is very much rooted in its Dacian past, the site has extra meaning in addition to its historical significance. The organization's founder, a businessman and historian named Dr. Giuseppe Constantino Dragan, tasked Italian sculptor Mario Galeotti with creating the huge piece of art. After some delays, the project finally got started in 1993 and was completed over a decade later. It took a team of 12 sculptors to get the job done. Number 1. Bamiyan Buddhas. For 1,500 years, Buddhists and non-Buddhists alike flocked to see the gigantic Bamiyan Buddha statues located in the Bamiyan Valley in the Hazarat region of central Afghanistan. The 6th to 7th century statues were carved into the side of a sandstone cliff with tunnels weaving in and out of the sandstone from behind. Details were created using mud mixed with straw and coated with stucco. The taller of the statues was 181 feet tall, and the smaller one is 125 feet tall, which at the time they were thought to be the biggest standing Buddhas on the planet. While little is known about who commissioned the statues, it's clear that Buddhism was popular in the region around the time of their creation. They also contained elements of Central Asian and ancient Greek art and culture, such as flowing robes and wavy hair. These features were customary of early Gandharan Buddhist imagery, which combined Indian subject matter with Hellenistic Greek style. In 2001, the statues were destroyed by a group whose name I can't really mention on YouTube. It took them weeks using explosives and artillery to completely destroy the Buddhas. Their destruction represents a huge loss to the study of human history and began the era of destruction of many ancient icons. The Buddhas returned to the valley in 2015, courtesy of a Chinese couple who donated a 3D light projector to be able to beam the images into the niche. However, it's only rarely brought out since the city has no real power supply and the projector needs its own diesel generator. Controversy over whether to reconstruct the statues appears to be ongoing. Thanks for watching! Would you like to learn more about ancient carvings and statues from around the world? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe and I'll see you soon. Bye!